Arrow Films is a leading independent entertainment distribution company established in 1991, operating in the UK, the Republic of Ireland, United States of America, and Canada. Arrow Films is dedicated to supporting upcoming and established filmmakers of dynamic new cinema and developing an inviolable slate of quality films that enjoy a lasting legacy across its award-winning branded labels, channels, and platforms. Arrow Films is also a leading restorer and theatrical distributor of classic and cult horror films, including landmark titles such as the 25th anniversary reissue of Cinema Paradiso, the 15th anniversary reissue of Donnie Darko, and the 30th anniversary reissue of Hellraiser. These lovingly restored films are brought back into cinemas nationwide with brand new look campaigns with wide-reaching distribution, including outdoor event status screenings at various cultural festivals, and as one-off bookings in local repertory cinemas and film societies. Arrow Films is also widely considered to be the global market leader in the premium home entertainment market, fueled by passionate and expert curation, aligned with state-of-the-art in-house film restoration, resulting in highly sought-after bespoke Blu-ray editions of classic, cult, and horror films across its Arrow Video and Arrow Academy branded labels. Beloved by collectors, these ever-expanding brands continue to delight their growing international fan base with regular interactive live events, festival sponsorship, and retail stands presence. Our offering extends to truly limited edition box sets, as well as associated spin-off products, now including books and vinyl records. We are so happy to have Arrow Video as one of our new sponsors. You can find them at www.arrowfilms.com. While you're there, be sure to pick up some cool titles. For example, they have the brand new American Werewolf in London collection, which is beautiful, the complete Sartana collection, Hellraiser 1, 2, and 3, Toys Are Not for Children, a new edition of Al Pacino's Cruising, and let's not forget a limited edition copy of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas and a limited edition copy of RoboCop. There's so much more, I can't even get into them all, but trust me when I say they're fantastic, and we couldn't be happier to have them. So once again, visit Arrow Films at www.arrowfilms.com and check out all of their brands from Arrow Video, Arrow Academy, Arrow Films, and Arrow TV. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Shameless Picture Show. I am Michael, and how are you guys doing today? Good morning. How are you? I am coming to you this morning to give you guys a little bit of a rundown of what this next coming episode is. It's an episode I actually had a lot of fun recording. I was able to sit down with Christina Mata and Michelle Beck of the upcoming podcast Spread Eagle. By the time you're listening to this, Spread Eagle might be available. I know as of a couple days ago, Christina Mata had recorded a new episode, their first episode, and was in the process of putting it out. It should be available anywhere podcasts are available. It's called Spread Eagle. And realistically what it is, it's two friends sitting down, shooting the shit, talking about a little bit of everything. It's going to get raunchy. It's going to get funny. There's an age gap between Michelle and Christina, so it's a lot of Michelle teaching Christina about things from her day, and then Christina trying to get Michelle more up to date. You can definitely sense a little bit of that dynamic on this upcoming episode. Michelle and I, we love old movies, so we talk about that quite a bit. And Christina also likes old movies, but me and Michelle have seen more of them. I don't know, this was a real interesting conversation for me. We didn't delve on a specific film like Nick and I usually do. It was more just freewheeling, anything to do about movies. And it kind of came to be because I hadn't put out an episode since Andre Gower, and I wanted to get something out to you guys. So while me and Nick do have a new episode in the can about Swiss Army Man for our Patreon patron, Stephen Millick, I want to get something out to you in the meantime. So the general premise was anything that had to do about movies is fair game. So in this conversation, Michelle talks about her history in the film industry in her own slight way, making film duplicates as a kid. Well, she wasn't making them, her parents were, but the famous clients her parents had, her love for old movies. We talk quite a bit about Vincent Price and my love for him. And there's even a delightful roasted pork recipe in this episode by Vincent Price. We talk about some of the great comedians like Buster Keaton and Laurel and Hardy, the Three Stooges, and we even run down a quick little list of 10 of our favorite movies, give some recommendations. It's a great conversation. I decided I wanted to record this little introduction, though, because we definitely did have some audio issues while recording. We were recording in Christina's basement. I was using a combination of my gear and her gear, and I was running into issues while recording it. So sometimes I tried to get everything leveled out well. I feel like I'm mic'd pretty decently, but Christina and Michelle are sharing a microphone. And so there shouldn't be any extreme spikes, but it is worth mentioning that the audio is a little bit inconsistent with them. And then as I was running into issues, I've removed a good portion of it, but in case you do hear it, any instances of static or extreme echo, I've tried to remove. There are still some cases of them, but it's a lot less troublesome than I thought it was going to be. So, I just wanted to kind of come in, give you guys a rundown, let you know what you're going to hear, and enjoy my conversation with Christina Mata and Michelle Beck of the upcoming podcast, Spread Eagle.
This movie podcast actually discusses movies. Be aware that it may discuss any of the following elements: endings, surprise twists, unexpected cameos, and all manner of spoilers. If this doesn't appeal to you, why listen to a movie podcast? Without further ado, please enjoy our feature presentation, The Shameless Picture Show.
Hello and welcome to another episode of The Shameless Picture Show. I am Michael Viers, and we have two very impromptu guests today. We have the two hosts of the upcoming podcast, Spread Eagle. We have Christina Mata. And Michelle Beck. I don't have a fun way to say it.
Hello. Beck is in Peck or Pecker.
Pecker, yep.
That works.
Beck.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you know how to pronounce it.
Christina and Michelle are kind of getting me out of a bind because I have been in desperate need of an episode. I haven't recorded an episode in a month since I had Andre Gower, the star of Monster Squad, on my show.
Oh, cool.
I assume you've seen Monster Squad based on your
Michelle
exasperated gasp.
Shit herself
I
just now.
did. I queefed.
She's got to go change her Depends really quick.
Yeah,
I
do.
And I just feel like I need something, and I've had a couple guests fall out. So here we are. You guys are saving my butt a little bit.
Hey.
And it just so happens that you two can discuss movies with me.
Oh, yeah. That's our thing, movies.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about Spread Eagle, please.
Okay, go ahead. You opened your mouth like you were going to talk, or were you going to suck
it was
dick,
just because the microphone was close. No, it's actually, we're going to discuss it's basically like an open forum. Like we'll discuss what's on our minds that day, whatever pisses us off.
Yeah, we have. It doesn't really have much of a structure. It's more of like whatever's on our mind that we want to discuss. We have a few topics of interest that we want to talk about. Some of the cool things that we want to do is like taking movie titles and changing them up and then changing up the whole plot of the movie and just making it into something really funny and stupid.
It's fun things. That's how we entertain ourselves.
It's just like making a bit and just going with it for the whole duration of the show.
So would you say it's completely comedy based, or would you say there's some therapy involved with a show like this?
It's comedy therapy, I'd say.
Yeah. It's definitely mostly comedy, but if therapy happens, then win-win.
Then you're welcome.
Then there you go.
If we save some lives, you're welcome.
I've always felt that like podcasting is an interesting. It could very easily be used as therapy. Like just using my own life. It's almost like a live journal that you're putting out to the world. With myself included. Like me and my co-host Nick, we usually spend anywhere from 10 to 45 minutes before I actually do my intro, just shooting the shit. And a lot of it gets cut out because not all it's good, but it's like, that's where I'll get stuff out. And, but then I also do choose to keep some of that in, because I feel like, you know, I was, anyone who was so I was furloughed from my job for 7 months last year. And I poured a lot of time into doing this show. Yeah. I did like twice a week live streams to the show. And anyone who was following, like I was reviewing movies and doing stuff like that. But I
remember when you were live streaming, I'd be like, oh, there he is. He's on Facebook. Let me watch.
Anyone who was watching the show realized, like, before I got to any movies, it's like, I'm just like, here's why I'm depressed today. And then I guess I'll talk about Problem Child later. Sure. But, you know, here's how I feel about myself today. Definitely. And I feel like it's always good to get that stuff out there. And especially if you can, I don't want to say mask it, but if you could, you know, put in a sense of comedy or enjoyment along the way as well, you know, I think everyone wins.
Comedy and laughter gets you through a lot of hard times. And movies too. There are some movies that they've saved my life. When I mean, really, when I think of dark times in my life, and there were certain movies that I watched that
shows.
Shows, and I'd watch over and over, and it kind of got me into my little bubble and got me through a lot of dark periods. Like, I always refer to like Robin Williams. Robin Williams saved my life. I had a lot of things when I was younger that weren't good, but I'd watch his movies and it just kind of shielded me from a lot of bad things, and it got me through a lot of tough times.
It puts you in a different mindset where you're not completely in reality, but you're there, but you know that there's something else out there to look forward to.
Exactly. Robin Williams and Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
My heroes when I loved Richard Pryor. I still love Richard Pryor.
I know when I was in like one of the darkest times of my life, this is gonna sound really dumb, but I got addicted to Kitchen Nightmares. Oh, and I just binge watched the shit out of that, like all the seasons just back to back. And
the Simpsons for me.
Yeah.
The Simpsons. Yeah. I want to say it saved my life, but it was in my life before I needed it, but it got me through the times that I definitely did. So after my father passed away, I kind of delved into the Simpsons, and I was intentional. I was definitely going for some of the funny episodes, but I was intentionally going for the gut, like the episodes that make you cry. Because people who don't watch enough of The Simpsons don't realize there are a lot of episodes that do. Like Homer's triple bypass still makes me cry like a baby every time I see it.
I know there are some undertones there that were more deep feeling.
Yeah, and they're just getting the whole sense of like the family dynamic. Like, they're hilarious, sure, but when it comes down to it, like, they all love each other so much.
And Homer's still, even though he seems like a putz, he's still a good dad that cares about his kids and family.
Husband,
yeah, in the end.
Even though he's a mess. But he's a good husband. He's a good.
But I think it relates to reality, you know, because we're all a mess. But that's actually why I got this Homer Simpson tattoo, where he's shaped like a heart.
I thought he just had a cancer in his brain.
I thought that was another part that I could put, because cancer took my dad. So I was like, well, if anyone asks, it's a cancer tribute tattoo. But I got this Homer Simpson tattoo because it got me through everything that went with my dad. But then it's also funny because he hated The Simpsons. So it's like, to get a Simpsons tattoo in tribute to him, it's like, fuck you, old man.
He's probably like, fuck you. That's beautiful, but fuck you. At the same time.
I always called him my big palooka because I watched a lot of Looney Tunes.
I was just talking about The Simpsons in the pool today.
Yeah.
Somehow, I forget.
In the pool.
Yeah, in the pool today.
I was in the pool. I
can't even remember how it started, but it was like when we were talking about like things that you do, impulse things that you do that you regret. And then when it was an episode where he had Starlight Vocal Band Forever tattooed on his arm.
I remember that.
I could not stop, because not too many people know Starlight Vocal Band. And I remember the first time I saw that, I couldn't stop laughing. It was hilarious. But that's what I love about that show, because it's funny. The kids get, like, my nieces and nephews love that show, but yet there's still that other side that only us adults get, and because of all the old movie references. There's so many movie references in The Simpsons that I think, oh my God, like, who else gets this? Like when They do a lot of their movies.
One of the ones that always stuck with me, and that's one of the reasons I like The Simpsons too, because you watch it at a certain age and you laugh, and then they make references you don't get, and you still laugh because even though you don't get it, because they say it in a funny way. But like the one that I always think back at is the episode where they had Alec Baldwin and who was Alec Baldwin married to for the longest time in the 90s? Kim Basinger. And they had Ron Howard in the episode, and they were all being jerks to Homer, so he created a museum of Hollywood jerks where he's just literally like airing their dirty laundry. And everyone's like, Homer, why are you being so mean to the celebrities? What'd they ever do to you? And it was like, and he goes in the speech. He's like, celebrities don't care about you.
I remember
And then
that.
my favorite line is like, he's like, where's Ray Bolger? Ray Bolger only cares about Ray Bolger. And that joke always stuck with me. And then I got to a certain age, it's like, who the fuck is Ray Bolger? And I had to look him up, and it was a whole thing.
And when it's time to do the dishes, where's Ray Bolger? I'll tell you. Ray Bolger is looking out for Ray Bolger.
Ray Bolger, the scarecrow from Wizard of Oz.
Or like another one that always stuck with me when
I like how Michelle made a reference to me, so I understand what we're talking about.
No,
Because I know characters, but I really don't know the actor names. I'm just like, oh, that guy, yeah, he's great, but I have no idea what their
Ray
name is, what their
Bolger.
history is, what else
Or
they've
like,
done. So I appreciate
rubber
that.
legs.
every so often I just like on Facebook I just post an out of context Simpsons quote, and then like we'll post who it's about. So like I posted that quote and just posted a picture of Ray Bolger. Or there was one where Homer is on a hunger strike and Lisa quotes Cesar Chavez to him, and Cesar Chavez comes to him and he goes, why do you, he's like, oh, I'm Cesar Chavez. He's like, why do you look like Cesar Romero? Because you don't know what Cesar Chavez looks like. So I posted a picture of Cesar Chavez next to Cesar Romero for no reason other than it made me laugh. Or like, I only know who Tito Puente is because of The Simpsons.
Yeah, they throw a lot of culture in there.
Oh yeah, lots. And like I said, the old, and especially like they go old movies too. Like, well, Ray Bolger, like how many, even though everybody knows Wizard of Oz, they can't, if you say, what is the name of the actor that was Ray Bolger,
That's
Oh
my
God,
dumb
I can't
ass. I have no
talk.
idea. What's the name of the actor who played the Scarecrow in Wizard of Oz?
Ray
I'm
Bolger.
like, fucking Scarecrow, man? I don't fucking know.
He was in Meet Me. No, the other Judy Garland movie too. The Harvey Girls.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in there, and The Great Ziegfeld. He played. I mean, he was like rubber legs. When you watch him dance, you forget what a great dancer he was. I mean, when you think of Gene Kelly, Fred Astaire. I mean, he did this one dance where he split down the middle.
Beg your pardon?
Yeah, I know. I was like, I don't have a penis, and I still gasped when he did that middle. I was like, holy cow! But he was very.
My
limber.
crotch will be hurting. That guy's probably How does he do
How
it?
he was in bed because he was so limber. Never thought about sexual rape.
I guess we'll have to do some research.
Yeah.
This is a Ray Bolger sex tape.
Yeah, I bet there's one out there. Maybe he dresses up as the Scarecrow.
Never thought of that before. They could have had role play. I'll be the Scarecrow tonight. Get my straw out.
What did he need, a brain?
Yeah, he needed
a brain. If I only had a brain.
Well, they always say men's brains are in their penis. If
Yeah.
he needed a brain,
Yeah.
maybe that's where the brain was and he wanted it in
And they were
his
like,
head.
"Oh, I'll show you your brain."
Sorry.
I love this because this has essentially become a trailer for Spread Eagle.
It's essentially Spread Eagle.
Ray Bolger, may he rest in peace.
He's rolling over in his grave like, the fuck?
What are they fucking talking
dumb
about?
bitch.
Now I just want I want to start. I want to go to like a yard sale in Hollywood and just see if can I find a Ray Bolger sex tape? I guess it'd be Ray Bolger sex reel. You know.
Yeah.
Do you think we'd find that in Hollywood at a rummage sale?
They found the fucking they found the complete version of Metropolis in a fucking basement somewhere. They can find anything in Hollywood.
That's my poster in my office.
Let's
Metropolis.
go. Let's go on a vacay. Let's just go searching for shit.
Oh my God.
Just walk around, see if there's rummage sales, sneak into people's basements. I don't give a fuck. Let's go.
I just got a girl hard on thinking about it. I mean,
I
seriously,
bet
I
you
was girl Woody thinking
we should
about
do
it.
that like on an episode, like live stream it. Just go sneaking into people's houses.
See what happens.
Yeah.
As we're getting arrested.
We'll see you on
It's
Cops.
for the content. It's
Cops,
for the content.
spread eagle
and I'm
of
sure the
it.
cops are really used to it. They're like, oh, it's for content. Okay. And then they smile for the camera and let us go in.
No, cops don't like when you film them.
They don't?
Yeah, they sure don't.
Oh, that's right.
They sure as hell don't.
Show cops. I'm like,
I'll be like, you want to turn on your camera? Oh, I see it's off. You want to turn it on for me?
Oh, God.
They'll be like, no. That's
If
tough
only
because I'm
I
recording.
had-
So
Off of mic, we were talking about movies upstairs. We're currently recording in Christina's basement. And you had alluded to the fact that movies were part of your life for a long time. Tell that story. Why are movies so important to you? I know why it's important to me because I just fucking watched TV all the time as a kid and I didn't get out, and that's how I developed this rotund body.
No,
Oh my God. Fuck
you know,
outta
they
here.
have just, I mean, movies, that is my passion. I mean, I'm from here, but my family I grew up in Los Angeles. So my family moved to Los Angeles and they had a mail order business. And we used to duplicate film prints of movies, and we had a mail order business. It was totally illegal at the time. That's why I said our pictures of Christmas when we lived in that small apartment, the whole wall was a film processor with our stockings hanging from it.
So you guys were bootlegging movies.
Yeah.
Before the VHS boom, you were bootlegging
Before
film prints.
Betamax.
You were bootlegging film prints for, I assume, collectors, because theaters had the connection to all these. You know, maybe there was some redneck little theaters that needed a print of something that didn't want to pay the studio.
No, these are for film buffs.
Mostly collectors.
Leonard Maltin was one of our the film critic. Leonard Maltin. He was one of our customers.
He is my dream guest.
I'm not a scholar or a theorist. There are people who say that there is a difference. That watching film with its flicker rate of 24 frames a second and the shutter, the intermittent shutter, does create a different kind of dream state than the rock-solid, steady, uninterrupted digital image that gets projected. I don't know if that's true or not. I know that I've, been dreaming at movies my whole life, watching them on film.
And I actually showed Christina, it's so dumb, I'm getting a little caricature of Leonard Maltin as my next tattoo.
He was one of our customers.
Do you still know him?
No, I wish we did.
I bet you could probably find his email and reach out to him and be like, hey, it's so.
That was before email, Christina.
Remember P.L. Beck's Limited?
No, I'm saying you could find him now.
I wonder if he'd remember back then.
Might.
I mean,
I'm sure he
okay.
His daughter's pretty vocal on Twitter. They have a podcast.
When I went to school, I went to West Hollywood Elementary, and our field trip was to CBS Studios watching a taping of the Dinah Shore show. And we met Dinah Shore, Red Skelton, and we were like, I still remember this like yesterday, where we were like in the first row before the audience came. I mean, that was like a school field trip. And he came out and he was doing his little mime and he was entertaining the children. I still remember him as a sweet man. And he was just so good with the kids. And we met Frank Sinatra Jr. He was a guest on the show too. And Dinah Shore. But it was just really cool. And and my family, we had that business and we did a lot of movie conventions. So we traveled all over the country and we did movie stills, posters.
So for the kids listening at home who don't realize, film prints are incredibly fucking expensive. And what's even more, it's not, like we're nowadays where you can just copy a file, or even as, looking back, it's like, crash editing a VHS tape was easy compared to what you guys had to do. What I find truly fascinating about this is, one, this equipment was not cheap. No. But it was a solid financial decision. Like, you were making enough to make that worth a purchase to just collectors, because not only that, like, you had to have projectors to be able to display this stuff. Like, the only way for the longest time that non-collectors could get a movie before VHS was if they were lucky enough to have essentially those old Super 8 clip shows they used to make. And because most people, not most, but more people had a Super 8 camera and projector, and they would, if you got like Godzilla on a Super 8 like little thing, it would be like essentially the money shots of Godzilla.
Oh yeah, it was all like the best shots, like edited into like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
So like there was enough demand out there from just purely the collector's market to make that a solid financial decision, and that's what I find mostly so interesting.
Yeah, they were the total reels. I mean, when we would have I'm sorry, I didn't mean.
No. I just had another thought. Sorry. No, it's because what I think is truly even more fascinating about that is because you said it was an illegal thing to do. So much so, I don't know if you ever read the book A Thousand Tiny Cuts. No. I think that was. I might be getting the title wrong, but it's about the illegal print trading of film, and then like how like FBI agents would storm people's houses.
I was just gonna tell you that because that's what got us out of the business, because the FBI was getting too close. And I remember when we lived in LA, like Roddy McDowell, because he was a big film buff and he owned a lot of movies, and he lived next door
to Vincent Price. Fun fact.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta tell you another fun fact.
Well, finish the print thing, and I'm technically the one who distracted you.
I mean, that was like you were literally like sending a whole film reel, a couple film reels of the movie, and like when we would have our movie nights, the projector screen would come up and the projector would come out. We'd watch like the whole movie on the screen in the house, and that's like how it was. You didn't have VCR. Or, Betamax. And I remember like when Roddy McDowell got busted, it was a big thing when we lived in LA. I mean, this is back in the early 70s, and the FBI like nabbed because he had all illegal prints and it was mostly of his own the movies that he made.
And what I think is crazy now, so that was once a big fucking offense. And there's always that thing that comes up on any movie, like, you could be charged and whatnot.
Yeah.
Hell, technically that thing says if you show it to friends, you could be arrested. But yet, you go to any horror movie convention, there's people selling bootlegs. Usually they're selling bootlegs of stuff that was only on VHS that never made it off of that. But like, that's fine. And at that time, it was a big fucking offense.
And it was a big process of duplicating these film prints too. Because like I said, I'll show you the pictures next time I see you. Like, the film processor was like maybe from the end of that wall to here, and that was like what we used to duplicate the prints. I mean, it was like that was our whole living room. But when you said Vincent Price, I just have to tell, when we lived in LA,
he's my favorite actor. Please tell a story.
You're gonna love this, and you're gonna wet your underwear.
Promise.
I promise.
You promise?
My mom, because Ralph's is a big grocery store chain out there.
Yes.
I know
I've seen
Ralph's.
Britney Spears shopping there on TMZ.
And she she validated Ralph's.
Yep. And I went there when I went to visit LA, because I was like, that's where Britney Spears goes.
Ralph's.
Yeah, anyway, I'm sorry.
My mom went shopping there and she met Vincent Price. She said she actually saw him and his wife. His wife, what was her name? She was an actress too. She was in Auntie Mame, Theater of Blood.
I can think of his daughter's name.
It begins with a C. I can't remember her name, but she was really cool. And he and his wife were grocery shopping because he was also a gourmet chef. That was his hobby.
Mm-hmm. For our entree, I have chosen roast pork. Now, I choose a boneless roast because they are much easier to carve in front of my guests. My favorite is a boneless pork sirloin. For 6 guests, I would buy a 5 to 6 pound roast. The leftovers make superb sandwiches, and I love a good pork sandwich. I rub my roast with 2 teaspoons of spiced salt and granulated pepper, and I roast it first uncovered in a roasting pan with a lid for 20 minutes at 475 degrees. When the fat is browned, I take the roast from the oven and lift it out of the roasting pan. I take a pound of pitted prunes and 2 onions peeled and cut into eighths and stir them into the pan drippings with a cup of red wine. Then I set the pork back in the pan on the bed of prunes and onions. I toss in 2 or 3 cloves and a bay leaf, and I cover it tightly. The pork should roast 30 minutes per pound of meat, So for our 5-pound roast, it would take about 2.5 hours. Let me tell you, the smell of this roasting should drive the most complacent family wild with desire. Somehow, the kitchen starts to smell like some wonderful magic is taking place, and believe me, it is.
I'm still
Coral Brown?
Coral Brown.
I'm still tracking down a reasonably priced copy of one of his cookbooks. They're a bit pricey.
Well, she's
I know.
pretty.
She was cool. I loved her and Auntie Mame. Well, my mom met him, so she followed him around, and she finally got the courage to ask him for an autograph.
He
And
was
she
super cool to his
said-
fans. He was super cool to his fans.
She said he acted like he's hearing it for the first time, and he kissed her hand, and he said, "How wonderful!" And he talked to my mom. Pretty much peed her pants, and she said what a gentleman and how kind he was and nice. And so I just have to tell you that the rumors and the legend is true. He was a wonderful man. I wish I was there with her.
I also love that Vincent Price was a gourmet chef,
Yeah.
but he loved hot dogs. Like he was also a very simple man.
That's me.
But like I had, it's not nearly to that level, but I had a very small connection to Vincent Price. So Vincent Price's daughter Victoria, she still runs his estate, and I think even keeps up with his social media accounts.
Yeah, we used to pass by his house because my grandma loved him. We'd honk at his horn, and my grandma go, "Hey, Vinny!" And, sorry. Ooh,
But I was doing a contest for this show where I was giving away a copy of The Fly.
Oh God, the original
Love it.
Fly.
Yeah.
And actually, it was The Fly. It was a double pack of The Fly and The Fly Returns, or The Return of the Fly, by mistake.
Sure.
And I just, I don't like, it was on Facebook. I don't even think I even tagged like him or anything. But his official like Facebook page, which I think his daughter runs, found it, shared it. And it was the most like hits I've ever gotten for this fucking show. And it's like probably just a very small little thing to them, just like, oh, this mentions my dad, let me hit share. But it was a big fucking this was this rivals the time that I reached out to Vera Goulet, Robert Goulet's wife, because of how I'm a huge Robert Goulet fan, and I wanted to use one of his songs in one of my film school movies. And I reached out to her, and she reached out back saying she doesn't have the permission to do that, but she loves that someone my age respects his work. And I was bawling.
The original Lancelot from Camelot on Broadway.
Yeah.
Robert Goulet. But Vincent Price.
Fun last name to have.
I know, I love that.
I
Goulet.
love one of my favorite stories that Roddy McDowell tells is that he's like the Prices were absolutely wonderful people, but I hated going to their house for dinner because he said they were filthy.
Oh no.
He's like, their house is just, and he makes it sound like it's like he one time said he's like if you've seen that movie The Last Man on Earth, that's what his house looked like.
Oh, I remember that movie, The Last Man on
But
Earth.
like, and I was like, I feel like he's over exaggerating because I've heard he's a clean freak, but I just love this idea that like Vincent
maybe
Price
to
lives in
him.
squalor.
Yeah, fucking right.
Well, he collected art. I mean, he was.
That's true.
He was such a fascinating man because he loved.
Geniuses tend to live in mess.
Oh,
Like me, you're at my house right now. It's a mess.
Oh my, yeah, I know, because you always
all
got
around you.
things going on all the time.
So do you still have any of these illegal film prints?
No, I wish I did.
Damn.
But
do your
I got-
parents maybe have it?
No, because that
tight.
was my real dad, and he's dead. But I mean,
Stupid dad.
I gotta
Gonna
find
die.
that autograph book because when we used to go to all these movie conventions back in the 70s. I mean, Comic-Con today is like, but we used to do that every year, and that was like such small potatoes back then.
Oh, yeah.
But I met. Okay, you're gonna have another like dick explosion because.
I'm ready.
I met Ray Bradbury and got his autograph.
Oh shit.
And Charles H. Schneer, who was the producer of all like those fantastic movies like Golden Voyage of Sinbad, The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, and Ray Harryhausen I met. Because when I was little, when I went to these conventions and I was a little kid, I used to just kind of roam around. I worked the table. I mean, I grew up kind of ahead of my time, and I used to miss a lot of school to do these conventions, and then I would come up to these, but because I was little, they would give me
Best
autographs.
education you ever got.
Yeah. And it's crazy too. It's like
Ray Harryhausen, who is an idol of mine too. Because
I'm sure, you know, you don't have to tell me specifics, but I'm sure those prints that your parents made weren't necessarily cheap because they're for collectors. But it's like, at one point,
it was all mail order.
And I wanted to, like, you know, there's still print collectors out there, and it probably hasn't gone down in price at all. It's probably even more expensive. But like I love movie posters. And even those are hard to find in a good condition.
Like the originals.
You know, that still have the creases from being folded. It's like, you know, to try to find a poster that's not a reprint. Like, I want one truly vintage movie poster. I don't even care what the movie is.
One in my bathroom, that's the solid gold Cadillac with Judy Holliday.
Yeah.
And that's got, I mean, it's huge, and it's got the creases.
The oldest movie poster I have, and I don't want to take it because I bought it with a frame, and I do not want to take it out of the frame to do any research on it. But the oldest movie poster that I have, I believe in my heart of hearts, is not a reprint, and if it is, was a reprint that was used. It's got the creases. What is Akira Kurosawa's Dreams?
Oh, I don't know that one.
It, you know, it was I think the first or only, it might be in the first American film that Japanese filmmaker Akira Kurosawa made.
He is.
I haven't seen the movie, but I have it. I have the poster because it's like I couldn't pass it up for like $30, and I put Restore, that place Restore, they had it just sitting there. I'm like, fuck yeah.
The fuck?
I paid more for reprints.
You look around like, is anyone watching me? Let me fucking grab this.
I know. eBay. That's how I got solid gold Cadillac, because I love Judy Holliday. I'm a big Judy Holliday fan, and I'm like, oh my god, I got that like for $30, and it was the original poster. That's like from 1959. I remember when we used to go to the conventions, and one of the most expensive at that time. It's probably changed. But one of the most expensive original movie posters was the original Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. So, I mean, at that time, I remember it was going for like $20,000.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah, it's just like the original comic books. Yeah. Like the comic books, like they go for a lot too.
Those are especially funny because like my dad told me that, like, you know, he's like, you didn't think of saving that shit when you were a kid.
Yeah,
you'd buy the newest issue of Superman, you'd roll it up, put it in your back pocket, go play kickball, and when you're done with it, you just threw it somewhere. Yeah. You didn't keep that shit.
And then you'd hear all those stories. But I mean, back when I was a kid, where they're like, "Oh, rummage sale."
Especially because they were on newsprint, so they're even weaker than they are now.
I can understand why hoarders keep everything.
Oh, sure.
You never fucking know if it's gonna gain value.
They had stuff like lunch boxes, and I mean, for movies, and I mean, I remember I had the first 10 issues of the original Howard the Duck, and that was like
Howard the Duck.
I had the first issue of Howard the Duck.
I think I almost miss that. So with this show, so like I struggle calling myself a filmmaker because I make films so inconsistently. But what I liked, and I don't really call myself a critic because I feel like that has such a negative connotation behind it. Though I do that. How I tend to describe what I bring to the world of film is I call myself a film culturist, where I'm a person that just promotes the love of film culture.
And I love that.
Especially because in the world that we live in,
just fell in love.
I know.
Everyone loves movies. Or everyone likes movies. Everyone watches movies. But the idea of film culture is gone. They don't make lobby cards. They don't make lunchbox. Well, they do if it's like Avengers or some shit. Like they don't really.
A lot of it is just kind of like mocking the vintage vibe of it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, let's make
even
a
just
lunchbox.
Even just the idea of.
You said it perfectly.
Even just the idea of collecting movies, like just buying DVDs, Blu-rays, whatever. Even that is. Like, people look at me, it's like, because I have over 1,500 DVDs and Blu-rays.
I probably got this.
Michelle probably does.
That's not including my VHS tapes. But I collect this stuff because, one, I like having something of my own. And then, two, I'm also a quality nerd.
Yeah.
You know, streaming doesn't sound as good. It doesn't look as good, especially because I've sunk.
And you truly don't own it.
Yes.
If something happens, you don't own it.
But like, even people look at me, it's like, who buys movies? Like, I do. It's like, well, do you watch all those? It's like, not as much as I want to, but I want to know that I want to have a library. It's like why you buy books.
Yeah. And books too. We were just talking about that in the pool the other day. day when they were like, oh, everything's what is that when the Kindle. I'm like, no, I like a book. I want to turn a page. I like a physical book, and I could match you too with your. You'll have to come over you'll have to bring them over. You'll probably. I have
hang out at the shelves.
Movies and my VHS. I cannot get because I want to own them. I know a lot of my friends are like, they just want it all on the internet. But if you lose that, you lose it.
Exactly.
I want to look at it.
A lot of people have this mentality that
and I still love vinyl.
I'm saving space. Look, it's all on the cloud. Like I like to hold it.
No.
And also like
I want to play it whenever I want.
Exactly.
For 90% of people, streaming's fine.
Sure.
But like you said, there's people that still want to own stuff. But then also like I'm a quality nerd. You spent enough time in the theaters to know that the sound quality you get out of TV speakers isn't nothing. So I've sunk money into like tower speakers that are as tall as me because I want to get that reproduction back. I have my television calibrated for color to make sure it matches the way, and you don't get a lot of that when you don't get that quality when streaming, and
that's true.
But most people are comfortable watching things on their phone, so it's like the idea of watching things correctly.
Yeah, I know that's like a.
To those who cannot see, Michelle just cringed and put her face into her hands.
I can't. Because you need to see it on a big screen.
Like the idea that
someone around you,
someone could watch Lawrence of Arabia on their phone is just.
I almost spit up my wine just now.
My nose is all wrinkly.
I'm also a nerd for aspect ratios. Like if a movie is supposed to be square, I want it to be square. Don't push in so it fits your screen.
No.
Like television is the worst offender of that.
Yeah.
Because I remember. So I grew up watching Turner Classic Movies because of my uncle.
TCM.
And I'm a member.
And
I watched it with my grandma.
TCM, because a lot of old movies are square.
Yeah.
Because that was the aspect ratio they used.
I want to see it the way it was filmed.
Me too. But when TCM first came out and they're on CRT TVs, those TVs were square. So it filled the frame. When HD TV started coming around and now they're wide to match the wide format that most movies are shot in now. I remember following the TCM forums because I was like 12-year-old fucking following the TCM forums. People were complaining. It's like, it was like, oh, I hate this. TCM used to fit my screen. Why doesn't it anymore? And they were blaming Turner Classic Movies, not realizing it's like, this is the way it's supposed to be seen. You just, your TV's wider.
I want to see it how it was.
You just need to fuck off. I'm just kidding.
I have another. I don't know if,
but not really.
Or like people who I don't like the black bars in the top and bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
That's the way it's supposed to be seen.
It's widescreen.
Yeah, troglodyte.
Yeah.
There's another one. You're gonna get pissed off at this because you guys are little.
This has just become the old movie bitching show.
I know.
Michelle just called us little.
You guys were little at the time. You were little tykes.
But we are mature adults now.
I remember in the 80s, like in the mid 80s, and then
that's when I was born.
Yeah, Ted Turner.
I wasn't born until 90.
Oh, I was born in 88.
Oh my God, I was born in 66. I'm like your grandma. But
my mom, she's about that age.
You were 22 when I was born.
Okay.
You're younger than my mother.
Too bad.
But in the 80s, they had a thing, and it didn't last long because people bitch.
New Turner Classics?
No, when they were colorizing.
That's what I'm talking about. They called them
Turner Classics.
New Turner Classics.
That was upsetting.
So,
I know, I still get upset.
When that happened, when they were doing that, Orson Welles spoke out against it because it pissed him off, and he actually, since he was in poor health, I don't remember when Orson Welles died, but I don't know if it was mid 80s or early 90s.
Yeah, I can't remember.
It was around that time.
The alcohol.
And I remember it was around the time that this was happening. He actually put it in it was his will or pretty much these are things that have to be followed after he dies. And then he said he put it in his dying wishes that he said, and this was in writing, not a single frame of Citizen Kane will ever be touched. And then he put a couple spaces down. That means you, Ted.
Oh God, I didn't know that, but that's awesome. I mean, you do not fuck with Citizen Kane. I am sorry. That, and I just watched it again.
It's coming back to theaters. I've never seen Citizen Kane on a screen.
The 80th anniversary. We should all go.
It's going to be in Lake Geneva.
You really.
It's going to be in Lake Geneva.
Let's go.
Let's do a like pilgrimage to that.
Yeah.
Because I would love to. I love that,
especially
movie.
because he's from Wisconsin. We have to see Citizen Kane on big
Shameless
screen.
Picture Show and Spread Eagle goes to the movies.
Yeah, I'll have my beautiful and talented wife make us a nice little banner. She'll come with us and take our pictures. It'll be great.
I would love to
like-
do that.
Oh no,
You
we'll
know,
flip off the.
I remember when I was younger and the Oriental. But the Oriental used to be
cool.
where they used to be cool because they used to show because they used to show
Used to be
just
cool.
old movies. They used to show Casablanca, all
Casablanca.
Oh God, Casablanca! I just watched it again. I never get sick of Casablanca. I have that. That's my poster in my office.
Never seen it.
You don't like it?
No, I do. I've not seen it since middle school. So I need to rewatch
We
it.
should all watch it together
It is-
and record a show.
That is one of my all-time
I love the drunker that
favorites.
Christina gets, the more she leans into the microphone.
Sorry.
You know, going into Casablanca, another thing, because I watched like on TCM when they had about Conrad Veidt, who was the Nazi in there. One of the greatest like character actors. He was from Cabinet of Dr.
Caligari?
I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
I know.
alcohol is making me...
You're mansplaining Cabinet of Dr. Caligari to me.
We can quickly tell who's drinking and who's not.
I know, and I'm sorry.
I have ginger
Michelle
beer.
and I are drinking
Sugar-free ginger
and
beer.
Michael's got the ginger
I
beer.
get excited because I'm in my element here.
Yes.
But you know, Conrad Veidt, you know, they always put him in Nazi roles later. I mean, he died
He's German.
He died a year after Casablanca, but he like left Germany and he went to England, and they took him in because that's when Hitler was taking over, and he put like a percentage of his income to their fund because he got stuck playing Nazis, but he was always giving back, and he was so anti-Hitler and the Nazi regime because he escaped that, and yet I mean he was someone that gave back a lot.
It's a cruel irony that that's the roles he got, but at the same time,
I know.
When you're an actor, unfortunately, you got to go where the money is.
But
they're
you know,
offering it.
he always went with it, and his is like the classic. I mean, my God, Humphrey Bogart shoots him at the end of Casablanca.
Spoiler.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Casablanca by now,
I'm sorry, Christina.
that's
Close your
problem.
ear.
It's okay.
I never
I'll be
get
fine.
sick of Casablanca. Oh my God, that if I have to name two things that bring tears to my eyes right away,
We should do a Shameless Picture Show episode where we watch Casablanca.
Oh my God, I would love that. When Ingrid Bergman comes up to Dooley Wilson and says, "Play it, Sam," I do literally cry when he sings that, and when Judy Garland sings "Over the Rainbow," and because it always, oh my God, that always just makes me cry every time. I love those, both of them. So, I mean, I really do. I'm not just saying that it's not this.
It brings you in.
And speaking of Somewhere Over the Rainbow,
chug your wine.
love and I have shed a tear over Vincent Price singing "Somewhere Over the Rainbow"
I never heard that.
Let's listen to it right now.
the Abominable Dr. Phibes 2.
Oh, that's right. I take it back. He does sing it at the end.
Yep. And what I love about that movie is it's one of the few times it's a monster movie. Monster. I'm using air quotes where the monster wins.
Where over the rainbow bluebirds fly. Birds fly over the rainbow. Why, oh, can't
Oh my God, I love you, Michael. I mean, I'm sorry because you get
Michelle's
me.
loved.
I
Fallen in love.
because Dr.
Amanda, it
Fi-
means nothing.
This means nothing.
No, because Dr. Phibes. Oh my God, I love that. I know.
Christina,
I really was
have you seen Dr. Phibes?
We
The
have-
Abominable
no.
Dr. Phibes?
We have.
What the fuck?
I've had a very one thing that I'll say is that I've had a very deprived life up until now. So
Okay,
I haven't seen a lot.
I'm going to
Dr.
bring a
Phibes
copy of The
rules.
Abominable Dr. Phibes to work tomorrow, and you're going to watch it.
And two. Do you have the
BTW,
second
we
one?
work together.
Well,
so
two.
he's
I need to
bring
wait
it
for her to watch one because
Okay.
two I only have in a Vincent Price Blu-ray box set, and I don't want to give that a whole thing away right off the bat.
Oh my God, I love that. I mean, I love that movie. See, they don't make them. I'm saying this all the time. They do not make them the way they used to. The early 70s was the best for horror movies. Like the Dr. Phibes 2, Theater of Blood, the original Tales from the Crypt, and all the
that I like.
all the British movies, because I have all of them, like
the Hammer box sets.
Yes, oh my God, Hammer rules. Christopher Lee, a crush of mine. I've been in
the
love
one
with Christopher
one of my
Lee.
favorites, the Vampire
I
Lovers.
feel so uncultured right now.
Oh my God, Roman Polanski, Sharon Tate.
And-
That's how he. That's
no,
Rosemary's
Vampire.
Baby?
Oh, no. I'm sorry. The Fearless
You were thinking of
Vampire
Fearless
Killer.
Vampire
Yes.
Hunters.
I'm like, Rosemary's Baby? That's the only
because
thing
I'm
I
getting
know.
excited.
The Vampire Lovers was a Hammer film.
Yes.
About, where they were actually able to pretty much they equated vampirism to lesbianism.
Yes.
Which was a pretty progressive film.
lesbians.
It was a pretty progressive film at the time.
No, you're right. I'm sorry. See, when I get excited and I had alcohol in me, I get they all they mesh together in my brain. But I know the Vampire Lovers and the Fearless Vampire Killers.
My mom to this day is always shocked that when I was young, when you're younger, unless you grew I was born in 1990. I was watching Power Rangers and shit like that when I was a kid. So when my parents would watch westerns or old movies, I had no interest. Some of them connected with me. For the most part, I really had no interest. It wasn't until I started getting older, like early teens, even before that maybe, that it started clicking with me. Like to this day, I'll be like, I'll talk about Fearless Vampire Hunters because it's a movie that she showed me, and she's always like, I can't believe you like this movie. Or like, I can't believe you're watching westerns. It's like, yeah, Mom, tastes change. Like, it's like, get with the program, woman.
I like all of them. I mean, it's the whole range of. I like everything.
Like, there's movies I definitely don't like, but there's not like, I'm a pretty liberal critic. Like, even where like, it's very rare that I hate something. Like, because like, I'm very much like, man, fuck, this movie was probably a bitch to make. You get a certain base level just for having made a movie.
Well, just like going back to King Kong. I mean, King Kong, when you think of not just how they reacted to it, but like the special Willis O'Brien who did the special effects. I mean, that was like major.
You told me about that, so I'm going to understand this part.
But that was like major back then. You didn't see special effects like that. And I could see how like in 1933 where people were like shitting their pants because, I mean, it still holds up so well today. And I could see Peter Jackson, that's his favorite movie.
And his remake actually was pretty fucking good.
I love the remake.
I pretty much like any version of King Kong. Like
I still like the Jessica Lange one. As cheesy as it is, I still love it.
One of my favorite lines from King Kong, because it's unintentionally funny as fuck.
Which one?
Is when they're on the steamer and you see Skull Island in the distance, and they have this very iconic line, "There's something on that island no white man's ever seen before." And I just imagine all the brothers are under, like, being like, you guys see that monkey? It's the most unintentionally funny line in that movie. There's something on that island no white man's ever seen before. And it's like, that feels like a spoof line.
We're snorting over here.
I know.
Oh, shit.
God, I know.
I gotta know more about this shit.
When you watch some of these, I'm sorry, when you watch some of the old movies and the references, it's like
they don't always hold it. Like a movie that I still have a fondness for, but every time I watch it, gets more and more cringe. We're skipping back. We're skipping more a couple of generations more contemporary from King Kong. But like I watch 16 Candles now, I'm like, my God, this film is rapey.
Yeah.
Like I still have a fondness for it. There's some really iconic scenes in that movie, but it's like, my God, this was acceptable in the 80s.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing it. I was in high school. We were like, but at the time you're not thinking.
It's hard because sometimes you have to. This is why I think context is such a big deal. Like last year when HBO Max came out, everyone was freaking the fuck out because HBO pulled Gone with the Wind. And they weren't pulling it forever. They were saying, we're pulling it until we can add some additional context to this film. And people were freaking out and buying up all the copies of Gone with the Wind because the Republicans are trying to own the Dems and all that shit. And they're like, oh, people are canceling movies. And that's never what happened. They put the movie back up a couple weeks later, but they recorded the new introduction with the film, put it into context for people. Pretty much what Turner Classic Movies has been doing their entire career. And pretty much explaining, hey, this shit wasn't cool then, but here's why this movie is still important for people to see.
Relevant.
And I think every film should have contextual information behind it, because a lot of times you watch a movie and yes, you're going to see things that are not cool if viewed from a prism of a 2021 lens. And I don't necessarily think that's you know, like people being overly offended. I just think that, you know, younger people seeing older movies, they don't know that that's just the way shit was back then. And that's also not excusing it, but I do think there should be someone being like, hey, we know this isn't cool. Ignore that, and here's why this film is important. Like a film that I struggle with, Clint Eastwood's first directorial first film he directed.
This is important.
Yeah.
Okay, so High Plains Drifter. There's a very. It's not even overly graphic, but there's a rape scene in that film where Clint Eastwood rapes the lead female of the film
in the barn. I remember that.
It's a very hard scene for me to, and I won't lie, I struggled with the film because of that, but it was one of those things I kind of had to view it as like, not necessarily that was never okay, but I had to view it in the context of why that wasn't necessarily in the film.
That to her.
So it's like, you know, it's very easy to just go like, your gut reaction to be like, this pisses me off, but I don't know what point I'm trying to make.
You have to see the story to see when it. I don't want to be a spoiler alert. But it explains at the end why he feels that way and why he's getting back at the town and why she was involved, and not that that's making that right, you know. And
it's essentially a horror movie.
Oh yeah, I love that movie. You know, but
I didn't like it the first time I saw it. Wow, that's a hell of an echo. Huh? I don't know. Whatever. I didn't necessarily like it the first time I saw it, but the more I've seen it, the more it connects with me.
But you know, at the time, like when I saw them, like I just watched it again, Revenge of the Nerds. I love Revenge of the Nerds. Did you ever see that?
Oh, of course
you did. But when I remember reading about it, and then they talked about it, like it wasn't cool because I remember at the end when he finally seduces Betty that he likes, and it's because he's got the mask on, and they're like, well, that was basically like date rape, and I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, but I look at it like I can't analyze every single movie back then that was different.
Yeah,
here's the thing I always say: you have to acknowledge that it was a problem.
Yeah,
if you watch a movie and be like, oh fuck, that's not good.
I mean, yeah,
but
it wasn't good.
You just, as long as you're not ignoring it.
Yeah, you acknowledge it.
And like Animal House, you know, I mean, Animal House is another one. I love Animal House. It's one of my it's another all-time favorite, but they bring up a lot of things like now, like what, you know, that aren't cool, that weren't cool then, you know, like when they go to the bar, and like when they go on the road trip.
So I guess, so you obviously like a lot of old movies. I do too.
I do.
Do you keep up with anything contemporary, anything new? Do you still see movies?
Oh, I see. I'm totally relevant because I see like all the new stuff too. I'm like all about movies.
I feel like there's a terrible trend in people who love movies. Not all people, but there's so many people like, it's like they turn off any interest. They essentially pick a date and like, I'm not going to enjoy anything after this date. And nothing wrong. Not everything that comes out is good.
I check out everything.
But like, there's still a lot of worthwhile shit coming out.
Oh yeah, and there's still great. Next week, my mom and I are going to see Aretha, which I am so excited about.
Me and Amanda, my wife, want to go see it at the Downer because I want to see it in the theater.
That I want to see in the theater too because I love Jennifer Hudson.
We should go together.
Well, come with us.
Okay.
Because we're going to go next week.
With your mom?
Yeah, come with me. Yeah, come with us. Because I feel like
does your mom still have that Vincent Price autograph? And how do I con it off?
She might have it somewhere.
She'll never.
And there's no way she will ever.
Can she leave it to me in her will?
She'll leave it to
She never met me, but
she'll leave it to you.
I got another thing that you'll get your dick wet about. I'm sorry. Okay, because we were always
talk. I'm sorry.
I know. I'm sorry. It's only talk, but
Oh my god.
we're all such. I've always been such a big fan of the Three Stooges. When we lived in LA, my dad, my real dad, who was a piece of shit, but he did some. My movie love came from him, a lot from him. But he wrote a letter to Mo Howard, and Mo Howard wrote a letter back to us. And I still
Really?
have that letter. And it says to the Beck family. And the letter had, and the letter had said from the desk of, I'm picturing it right now, from the desk of Mo Howard, and it shows like a little table lamp with the bowl haircut.
Oh no!
And it was like, to the Beck family, thank you so much. And he wrote a long letter thanking us for loving, because we always loved the Three Stooges. I mean, the Three Stooges.
When I was in film school, I made a short horror movie dedicated to my love of movies, and and I was pulling from the weirdest places. Like when I pitched the idea to my teachers, they were like looking at me confused because like I'm pulling references from multiple places. I was like, I want it to be like if Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer starred Vincent Price, and they're like, what the fuck is that gonna be like?
Nice.
And then like they
can't fucking visualize it. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, I don't think they'd seen Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer.
Maybe they shouldn't be fucking filmed.
It was like movie of the week's Portrait of an Alcoholic.
Fucking
Portrait of a
A.
Serial Killer.
But then I was also
I've
like,
seen it. You should have fucking seen it.
it was like I also had an obsession with public access horror hosts and old movie theaters. So I made this movie that combined all these things, and like I even like have a scene where he goes to the theater to see a Three Stooges marathon, and he's watching the Three Stooges before he commits a murder, and all these just crazy things all put together.
Awesome.
And it's like I was trying to like, how can I take something based in this world of all these weird niche shit that I love? Because it's like this is going to be a tough sell, because it's like not many people know who our horror host is. That's going to be hard enough as it is, and then like this weird juxtaposition that I'm trying to create. But I was like, I want to create something that feels modern, that just is seeped in all things old movies, and I feel like you'd appreciate it.
I can help you with that because I'm old.
Fuck off!
Because I'm old and I know all the old shit. No,
I had speaking of Three Stooges, I had to use the old episodes of Shemp because they were in the public domain.
Shemp. And he was the original before Curly.
Yeah. So I had to use the Shemp episodes because I couldn't show anything with Curly because rights issues.
Did you ever read the biography about the Three Stooges? Or
no.
The Stooges? I mean, it was just so tragic because they went through so much. Harry Cohn really fucked them over with their royalties, and how when was it Curly, or when they were in the cab and he just had the heart attack and died and his head laid on his shoulder.
All these comedians had like depressing afterlives, like Laurel and Hardy. Hal Roach fucked them over too.
Yeah, he did.
And Buster Keaton was Buster
Keaton.
He could barely get hired at the end of his career.
Yeah.
I believe Orson Welles talked about like how he was like washing dishes somewhere.
Good evening. This is Orson Welles. And it's my great pleasure to introduce this evening, in this series of great silent films, one of the great films of all time, one of my favorites, The General, by and with Buster Keaton. He was, as we're now beginning to realize, the greatest of all the clowns in the history of the cinema. For too many years, he was under the shadow of Chaplin, of course, and for too many of his last years, he had a very bad time of it. Those are the years in which I knew him. We used to work in the old stage door canteen. I was doing magic tricks for the troops, and Keaton was washing dishes. He was a lovely person, and a supreme artist. And I think one of the most beautiful people that was ever photographed.
Yeah, he was like so, and not until the 60s, like when it was like what funny thing happened on the way to the Forum, and there were a couple like something, the ghost in the bikini. I mean, he was like in a couple of those movies, but that span from that until, I mean, he was like, and he was one of the greats of the silent era.
Groucho Marx. The end of his life was so depressing. Actually, I really wish this would have happened. Rob Zombie wanted to make a movie about his last year being alive.
That.
Rob Zombie.
He
I didn't
really
know
did a
that,
good
but
job.
Rob Zombie is one of the loves of my life because he loves movies too,
Yeah.
and I always feel like
And he always casts his wife in the movies, and I
know.
want to do that.
I always felt like if we all sat together with Rob Zombie, we'd have a really fun movie trivia. If you're out there,
And then
we
he'd
love
make
you.
us a victim in one of his movies.
Well, I
and
would
feel
love
like,
that. I would love that. To
Yeah,
be like,
I really-
gouged
Make me
or
a
something
victim,
in
make
one
me
of his
whatever you
movies.
want.
That's
I
awesome.
really wish that
I am
movie
an
would have.
actor.
I really wish that movie would have happened.
That was. I mean, well, Captain Spaulding.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I remember the first time I saw that, I laughed my ass off, and then Rob Zombie, who was already high up in my list, went 10 notches up
I feel-
because he referenced Captain Spaulding.
I feel
which
like
who
I
knows Captain
feel like I
Spaulding?
spend more energy than I should defending his movies.
No, I love Rob Zombie. I'm all about Rob Zombie, and I get him. I love his
So
music.
I assume then you're excited for him directing The Munsters?
No, I didn't hear about that. Oh my god!
I actually heard something that you haven't. Yes.
You didn't tell me.
I'm sorry. I have to share
I've
more.
been in my work bubble, and I'm like out of touch with a lot of things.
That's me too.
Oh, that's
I'm in my life
awesome.
bubble.
Yeah.
See, and because he has respect for movies. That's why I love him, because he totally respects it. It's not just that he's doing it to do it. He loves. You can tell by his all his movie references.
That's what he wanted to do first. He wanted to make movies, and he's like, "Well,
I
this
love
is."
every single movie he did.
I do too.
And I have them all.
You know,
too.
I don't think they're all masterpieces, but I find something I like, and
I
out of
love
all.
every single.
But like I like all of his movies. I actually think Lords of Salem was the best movie he's ever made.
I like that one, and I like the last one too. And I'm sorry, my mind because of
The Three from Hell.
Yes,
That I actually haven't seen it yet because
It's
I wanted to
awesome.
rewatch.
I have it. You can borrow it.
I have it too. I wanted to rewatch House of a Thousand Corpses, and that was just before I watch it. But no, he wanted to make movies, and he's like, "Well, fuck, this is hard. I might as well just make music." It's like, oh, you chose one incredibly difficult career and went to a different one.
But he's awesome in all of it. I love him, and he can't do wrong in my book because he has the passion for film. I feel.
Yeah, because like I feel like so my thing usually when I'm watching a movie is one, I guess I'm a pretty liberal critic where I'm like, usually my opinion is like if there was at least one good scene, it wasn't a complete waste of my time, you know. And
sometimes one good scene will make a bad movie good for me.
I also truly think that like no one's trying to make a bad movie. Well, there are filmmakers trying to make bad movies, but they shouldn't be making movies. But like people talk about like how much of a bad filmmaker Ed Wood was, but Ed Wood had so much fucking passion, and I feel like Ed Wood was close to making a good movie. If he would have actually had a little bit of money and had some time,
if he was given the finance, he would have.
I feel like he
did the best with what he had.
I feel like most filmmakers have a good movie somewhere in them. They just don't know how to put it out there. I truly believe that every filmmaker has a good movie in them. It just are they a good enough filmmaker to get what's in their head out?
I think that's my problem. I think all these things, it's making it happen or putting it on paper. You know, and I think that's a problem with a lot of people. Like you have it in your head, it's conveying it to paper or to the people to make a movie, make a good movie.
Yeah, it's like what's that old quote? I think it was one of the master sculptors. It's like you look at the block of marble and just remove everything that's not what you see. And I was like, well, that's easier said than done. Like,
oh, but that's true though. All right, I have to ask you a question. I know this is hard because for a true movie buff, it's hard to choose, like, if you have to put in a list your favorites, because I love so many movies for so many different reasons.
I think I know where you're going with this.
Just off the top of your head, what are your top 10 favorite movies?
10 is going to be tough, but I can give you the top
I know, it's hard for me too, but I'm just curious.
I can give you the top 4 pretty easily.
Okay.
In no particular order.
Yeah.
John Carpenter's Halloween, Tim Burton's Ed Wood,
Yes.
Brian,
I was just thinking of that.
Brian De Palma's Blowout,
Blowout.
Michael Lehman's Heathers, Nicholas Winding Refn's Drive.
That's a movie I know.
Drive is awesome.
So I got 5. Like 10 is like it's if I had some time to put it down. Top of my head, she asked me for my top 10 favorite movies.
Oh no!
I'm curious.
I would also probably James Woods Frankenstein. I would put also on there. I cannot think of the director right now, but The Abominable Dr. Phibes. I would also put Buster Keaton's Sherlock Jr.
Oh, I just watched that not too long ago.
I feel like I'm going to miss out on some. Sure.
I'm just curious.
John G. Avildsen's Rocky.
Oh yeah. Rocky. Oh, Rocky is so good.
I honestly think if Rocky wouldn't have had any sequels, it'd be considered one of the greatest movies of all time.
I think people forget.
I love
thinking of the original. What's that? Oh, Diet Ginger Beer.
I love the sequels, but I think they hurt the original film. Mm-hmm. And then I would probably also have to. It's going to be cheating, but I'm going to change Frankenstein for The Bride of Frankenstein because I think The Bride of Frankenstein is the best of the 2 films.
Yeah. I love The Bride of Frankenstein.
Let's see, what would edge in as my number 10? I feel like me and my co-host Nick have done an episode about like our favorite movies, and I'm struggling to think of any of them right now. I feel like I need to get another contemporary film in there just to even things out.
Oh sure.
So I will put I think one of the best horror films to come out in the last like 10 years. It Follows.
Oh, that's a good one. I actually know about that one.
That one. That's good.
That's fun.
And I mentioned it because people don't talk about it.
No.
And then another one that I truly love, it's a very DIY indie film called The Battery. I don't know that one.
It
came out at the time where I was so fatigued by zombie films, I never thought I'd want to see another one until I saw this, and I was like, this is probably one of the best zombie films ever made. Because it was made for like $2,000. They shot it on a DSLR, and it's just the best character piece I've ever seen.
I have to check that. I don't know that one. It's called The Battery?
The Battery.
We should watch that together on Spread Eagle.
Yeah, I like that. I'm always down.
I'm going to have to listen back to this show. Well, I'm going to edit the show anyways. And I'm going to have to actually make a list for Christina of all the things that she wants to watch. Because I'm going to quiz you tomorrow to see if you remember them.
Tomorrow I probably won't, but please do quiz me tomorrow.
The Bride of Frankenstein is one of the best.
Never seen it.
I love that. Very good movie.
Well,
Very well done.
So
it's good because I feel like I can admit to the
one of my
things that I
favorites
haven't
is,
seen.
and I'm curious if you know it. I'm sorry. I'll wait.
No, I was going to say, it's, I think a big part of being a movie buff too is admitting when you haven't seen things.
Oh yeah. We all haven't seen. There's a lot I haven't seen yet.
Up until last year, I had never seen Creature from the Black Lagoon,
I've
seen that because that's Bob's favorite,
and I was like just blown away by because I got how good it was. I didn't expect it to be a bad movie, but I was like, holy shit, this holds up so well.
It does, and that's where I
will say I've seen this because
tapped your boobs.
It's okay. That's a fine. You can tap my boobs all you want.
That's where Shape of Water comes from.
It is, and I will say I have seen Creature from the Black Lagoon because that's what that's one of Bob's favorite movies, and Bob is my boyfriend.
That's a great. I saw that on Christmas in LA when I was a kid, and the old time 3D movie, and that was so awesome.
I remember my mom telling me a story about when she was a little girl and Creature from the Black Lagoon was coming on TV, and for those kids, I keep saying kids, but I feel like I feel like I usually explain shit to people my age or younger. For the kids at home listening, when a movie came on TV, that was your chance to see it. Wizard of Oz came on once a year, and if you missed it, you fucking had to wait for it.
Yep.
Gone with the Wind was a 2-night fucking ordeal. When Mom told me the story about when Creature from the Black Lagoon was coming on TV and they were showing it in 3D, and she had to go down to the local Walgreens to buy the 3D glasses so she could watch it.
That was those paper glasses with the red, white,
the red and the blue.
Yeah,
and they're like really cheaply made. Yes.
I've said I say this all the time, even though I'm guilty because I own so much with movies and my shows, like. Even like the Christmas stuff, Santa Claus is coming to town, but it's not the same because when you own it, when I was a kid, it was a big deal when it came on because you made sure to get your homework done and you're like, you looked forward to that one night a year. It was on. It was special.
You couldn't miss Peanuts or whatever. And actually, I remember one of my cherished items, and I still have it. My mother made for me and my brother a VHS tape of all the Christmas specials, and it was over the span of a couple years that she did it, and she did it hardcore where she would stop the recording at commercials. But every so often a commercial comes on. A commercial comes on and it just brings me back. Yeah. The little kid eating the Campbell's soup and then the snowman melts into a child. I'll never forget that.
Or the such a nice mom. The razor guy where he's like the snowman.
But I remember.
I'm still jealous of your guys' nice moms.
There was things on this there's the big ones. Santa Claus is coming to town. Rudolph. The ones that you'd expect. But then there was also like the Smurfs Christmas special.
And Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol.
That was on there.
All-time best ever.
But I remember it was so exciting for me because it ended, and my mom hated this, but she knew me and my brother liked it. It ended with the Christmas special for Pee-wee's Playhouse. And I still have that tape. I put it on every year, even though I have all these on cleaned up DVD or Blu-ray, and they look nice. But I put it on every year. I hook up my VCR to a terribly expensive TV, and I put it on the background when we're decorating. And the sound is wobbly, but I have such nostalgia for. I call it like tapes.
Yeah.
When you had to tape them off a TV, mainly because I loved the shit that would wind up next to each other. I remember, so there was the live action, there was the stage performance of Peter Pan that came on television. I can't remember
Mary Martin.
Yep.
And they had Sandy Duncan do it.
I think it was the Sandy Duncan one. And
yeah, I remember a lot of shit.
I had that on a tape, but to get to it, you had to fast forward through Terminator. And I remember I was telling my teacher that I was like, I have this live performance of Peter Pan. And she's like, you should bring that in for us to watch. And I was like,
Miss
okay.
Sherman?
It might have been.
It might have been.
No, it wasn't Miss Sherman.
Oh, man.
Who taught second grade?
I had Miss Joy. We went to the same elementary school.
I think it might have been Miss Joy. No, it wasn't Miss Joy. It was the other woman who was like next to her class.
Oh,
it was Miss Joy.
Hennessy?
Mrs. Hennessy.
Ooh, yes!
And I remember I brought it in and we were going to put it on. And then I was like, and not even thinking about it. And I was like, I should tell you, it's the second movie on here. Terminator's first. And she goes, what?
She's probably like, fuck.
And I was like, what? Is the movie queued up? And I was like, no.
No. You gotta fast forward a bit.
And so, like, she was trying to fast forward it, and so, like, the kids didn't see, and she stopped, like, right as the hydraulic press is crushing Terminator.
Mike.
And that was shown in the class.
No! I still have. Oh, shit. I'm like, Alex, because I'm excited and
it's okay. Don't worry about it.
Because I still have tapes like that too that I taped off TV, and the tapes have like 2 or 3 movies on, and you combined it, you edited out.
My dad made me some VHSs like that. It was like Karate Kid and Nightmare Before Christmas together. Yeah. I get it.
So you have Terminator being crushed and then Christmas. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I also love like So when I used to work at Best Buy, people would bring in VCRs and VHS tapes for us to recycle.
Okay.
And I loved going through them, and because like I just love seeing the type of shit that people taped off television, and I just love that there was this it was one tape that had really nice, delicate writing on it that said Ken Burns Civil War, and it was it was crazily crossed out, and next to it was Wayne's World. And I was like, decisions were made.
No, I'm sorry I get carried away.
No,
away
I do too. Like
movies.
that's on like that's one thing I liked about doing this show, because like the whole reason I started this show is I guess I don't want to say I'm a filmmaker. I went to film school, and I used to when you're in film.
Okay, you're making a music video for the Directionals, and you're gonna help us make our show.
That's fair.
So you're definitely a fucking filmmaker.
Yes.
Don't downplay yourself.
Well, thank you. Okay, well, so
And
I'm
you're
a
the
shit,
one that
and
can
you've
bring
done
our
fun
vision
shit.
to the screen.
He hasn't even read our script yet. I
haven't
said
had
it,
time.
but he hasn't read it yet.
I haven't had the time.
Based
Shut up.
on knowing.
Don't tell me to shut up.
Shut up.
He's
Tell
the
you
one.
to shut up.
He is the chosen one.
I'm so excited
our
that I'm so excited that you two got the chance to meet, and I'm like, I feel like this is going to be a beautiful thing.
That's like.
Well, Christina's hanging out with my wife on Saturday, so I'll read it then.
Okay, good.
But
We're going to the farmers market, and we're going plant shopping.
Ooh, that sounds like fun.
You want to come? Oh wait, you're working. I was gonna say you could come with us, but you're working.
this show started because I'm a filmmaker, and when you're in school, you watch movies to inspire yourself. And when you get into the mindset of watching things for inspiration, well, you can still definitely enjoy movies. It's hard to go, like, there was a period of time where it was like almost an 8-year period where I didn't make anything. And you almost like, well, why am I watching movies? Yes, I enjoy them, but like it's almost, it feels like
analyzing
there's
them more.
something missing. And I was like, well, at the time I didn't know if I was going to make another movie or what I was going to do, but I was like, I need to find my love for this again. So I started doing this podcast as an excuse to watch shit for a purpose, for a reason. And, and then I was able to start crossing stuff that I haven't seen. Like, I never saw The Godfather until I did the show. And it's not
I've never seen many things, Michelle.
And it's not for any other reason.
We've got homework.
It was one of those things. It's like I never thought I was going to dislike it. I was like, it's The Godfather. I'm sure it's going to be great. But it was like I almost made this choice when I was in college because I went to an art school. Like we were watching all this experimental and art house cinema, and then I also loved like exploitation and low budget films. So like I was like, okay. I could go watch The Godfather, or I could watch all the movies that were inspired by it. Or like I didn't see Taxi Driver to the show or The Exorcist, but I had seen big important films.
Oh, sure.
I just like
I've seen The Exorcist, by the way.
I knew I would like these films. It was just like they just weren't top of my list, and I just liked that because of this show, I had a reason to see these. Or like one that I never thought I was gonna like. I never thought I was gonna like Apocalypse Now because I don't like most war films.
Oh, I like that one.
I don't.
I've seen that one.
Apocalypse.
Apocalypse.
No.
I don't like most war films because I just think they're just dumb American propaganda. There's some I like, but for the most part,
a TV show in the 50s. Boris Karloff played the Marlon Brando role.
Oh,
Heart of Darkness?
Heart of Dark. I'm sorry because my mind's getting cloudy. He played that on this like made for TV. It was like on a Playhouse special.
Yeah.
It was Heart of Darkness, and he was Marlon Brando's role. Sorry, I had to throw that in.
But like I didn't think I was gonna like it,
Brando.
but then I saw it and I was like, holy shit! Here is Francis Ford Coppola who just made essentially. I don't remember how much that movie was made for, but like a $2 million art
Way
film.
over budget.
And it's like, I whenever I think about that movie, I think about a quote that my friend Kyle said, who's been on the show a couple times, where he said, Apocalypse Now may not be my favorite movie ever made, but he's like, but I truly think it's in the running for being the greatest film ever made.
Oh, yeah. And his wife, what is it, Eleanor?
Yeah, something like that.
She made a documentary. They recently came out, like, it was called The Heart of Darkness.
Yeah, it's
it was a documentary
phenomenal.
about, it's very good. It's almost as good as the movie because it's like how the behind the scenes.
And like, I just like, you watch interviews of Coppola at the time, and he was like ripped on cocaine, which is especially funny. But like, he was like, man, people aren't gonna get this movie. Like, we're gonna make the studio build a theater in the center of the United States, and it's gonna show Apocalypse Now, and that's all it's gonna show, and that's gonna be the only place you can see it. And it's like, oh, Coppola.
Martin Sheen like hated him because he like kind of like blamed him for his heart attack because he had the heart attack while making Apocalypse Now, and he blamed Martin Sheen. You know, Coppola.
Yeah.
For that because of the stress. Well, you know, most of the greatest filmmakers put their actors through hell, like Kubrick, like.
I was going to say, like, the
Hitchcock.
lady from The Shining.
Malcolm McDowell like hated him because he said his cornea got scratched when making Clockwork Orange because he did
I
over
wouldn't
and
even
over.
fucking care when they did the when they pulled his eyeball back while he was watching the crime. Fuck yeah.
It's almost crazy to.
As an actor, I wouldn't even fucking care. I'd be like, do whatever the fuck you want to me.
But it's like he said his cornea, and so it was hard for him. And
It's interesting to listen to him talk about that movie because it's like he cites it as being like, and he says it's. So he grew to hate Kubrick at that time for that, but he said throughout the entire making of the film. He's like, I loved Kubrick. He's my best friend. He's like, every day we would play ping pong with each other. And he you know, during breaks we'd hang out and all this stuff. And then he's like, after the movie finished, he never talked to me again. And it's like, you could hear that he's heartbroken.
You know, it's weird how when they work together, there's a love-hate relationship, and then how later even bringing up Eddie Murphy and John Landis, like there was a period where Eddie Murphy hated John Landis. They clashed. But then
John Landis didn't like that it was Eddie Murphy's movie and he was calling the shots.
Oh yeah. And then now when they made Coming America 2, I haven't seen that yet. But watching Eddie Murphy when he's promoting it and he's like, John Landis, because they work together on Trading Places and now, I mean, it's like how Water Under the Bridge, like now it's different when he brings it up, you know, it's weird. Like
time heals stuff. And you know, or like who was the lead actress in The Birds?
And where?
The Birds.
Oh, Tippi Hedren.
Tippi Hedren, she's been all over the place of her opinions on Hitchcock.
Well, he put her through hell.
Yeah.
And he was obsessed with her.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, do it.
But it's such a classic. And he immortalized her.
Mm-hmm.
In that
so
movie.
you put me on the spot. What are if you had to pick 10 favorite films?
Oh, God, that's hard.
Shit.
But
just put me through it.
No, I mean, if I have to, okay, one of my all-time favorites and this goes from when I was a little girl, the original Beauty and the Beast, the French version from.
I got to see that movie. So my short film I was telling you about before played at the Cannes Film Festival.
Okay.
And I got to.
I heard about that.
I got to see that. I got to see Beauty and the Beast on film in a French theater.
Oh my God, I'm jealous. When I went to Paris, I bought the poster because it was a big deal because I love that film. That was my favorite fairy tale when I was a little girl. And then I loved it because it's just so... What did you think of the film?
I thought it was wonderful.
Wasn't it beautiful?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so dreamy and...
What
film? I mean, it's just so visual. It's not like the Disney.
What film?
It's
Beauty and the Beast.
The French version.
Oh. Black and white French. Jean Cocteau.
Jean Cocteau. Come in your mouth or...
Oh, come on. You missed the easy... You missed... You missed the easiest joke. Jean Cocteau.
Cocteau?
It's right in front of you.
It's
Jean
really
Cocteau. Jean Cocteau.
It's really not.
John Leguizamo movie where he was like, when they were like, Jean Cocteau, and he's like, you mean Jean Cocteau, the filmmaker? He's like, no, Jean Cocteau, my two favorite body parts. Cocteau! No, but I love that movie. I mean, to me, that's one of my all-time favorites because it's just so beautiful. I mean, the filming and the cinematography, it's just a beautifully filmed movie. The original Alien, but I love Aliens too, also. Alien.
I don't think, unpopular opinion, I don't think Aliens is nearly as good as Alien.
Alien, I love Alien.
Alien is a masterpiece. Aliens is
if
okay.
you're parked behind my car, you'll see why I love
That's
Alien.
true. And Michelle even gifted me the same sticker for my
I have
new
a sticker
car.
on the back of my car that's it's just
okay, we got Beauty and the
homage
Beast,
to
we got Alien.
Alien, okay, that I love the
That's
Big
right,
Lebowski.
we're doing a
Big
countdown.
Lebowski, okay.
Big Lebowski, Casablanca.
Okay.
I've never. Okay, Casablanca.
I had unfair advantage because I'm sober.
I know. I'm sorry. Streetcar Named Desire.
Okay.
Love.
I prefer.
I do love that movie too, and
you
I've
see
seen
it?
it before.
To me,
Yes.
Vivian Lee. That is one of the. For
I
me,
prefer-
my
Always
best
dependent on the
female-
kindness of
I
strangers.
prefer On the Waterfront, but
great
I
movie,
do
too.
I do love that movie.
I think, hands down, one of the greatest female like actress performances of all time, Vivian Lee in that movie. Even I even saw like on a Jeopardy question when they said there was a Tennessee Williams sent a letter to Vivian Lee saying that he loved her portrayal of Blanche.
Yes.
So I just love that
As a
movie.
theater actor, that I feel that in the heart.
Grace Kelly in Rear Window is one of my favorite female performances of all time.
Oh, Vertigo.
Okay.
That's up there. All-time favorite, Vertigo. And then, okay, so Vertigo, Goodfellas. I love Goodfellas.
I prefer Casino.
I love Casino, too.
But I think it's because I saw Casino first, so
Okay.
it's like
Sometimes it's hard when you see the first one, you can't get you don't forget your first.
yeah, it's like I love Goodfellas, and I look at it, and it's like, and part of me is like, this is probably the better movie out of the two, but man, I love Casino.
I love both of them.
Yeah.
And I love Singing in the Rain.
Okay.
I love musicals, and I love Singing in the Rain. Let me see. Oh, that was the other one I was going to say that I love. Curse of the Demon. Did you ever see that movie?
No.
Yes, you have to. 1950s. Dana Andrews. What is it? Jacques Tourneur?
Jacques Trudeau.
Yeah, Trudeau. I'm sorry.
I think so. I think that's how it's pronounced.
He did
I said it with such
Cat-
authority that I guess if I actually know.
I felt like the hand slap from the priest before I got butt.
No, it's a movie I know of. I just haven't seen it.
But Curse of the Demon is awesome. That movie scared the shit out of me.
Jacques
when I
Trudeau
was
directed a lot of Val Lewton's films, didn't he? If I remember correctly.
Yes. Yeah, because remember they did Cat People, Curse of the Cat People, I Walked with a Zombie.
Was it the
film noir.
Panther? Woman? I can't remember the exact title. Fuck.
I know, I'm sorry, my mind's clouded from the alcohol, but it's...
I don't know what my excuse
Story
is.
of my life.
But the Cat, I love Cat People and all. But Curse of the Demon, you have to check it out. That movie I saw when I was a kid, and that movie scared the shit out of me. And it's still creepy to this day, and it's from 1950s. It's a very well done.
I think we're on 9.
The devil.
I think we're on 9.
Okay. So 9, Curse of the Demon. Oh my god.
Give me something contemporary. What's like one of last 10 or 20 years?
Last 20. Oh boy. I'm trying to think. New stuff. I mean, I said Big Lebowski.
Because like I said, like Drive.
Drive.
I was gonna say Michelle really loves Drive.
I did. I own that one.
I know that about Michelle. That's my mom. Michelle's my mom, by the way.
No, I
She's
guess
my adoptive
I'd have
mom.
to say The Godfather because I love The God. Well, I don't know. It's a tie with Godfather or Scarface because I love Scarface. I just love that movie. I'm a big De Palma fan.
Me too. Brian De Palma directed the fuck out of that movie, and I'll give Oliver Stone credit because he wrote the shit out of that movie.
Yeah,
fuck yeah, dude.
Screenplay writer.
So, are you familiar with Trauma Entertainment? Like they did like the Toxic Avenger and shit like that.
Oh yeah, Toxic Avenger.
So
my God.
Oh no, Michelle's gonna fall in love with you all over again.
I was an editor for Trauma Entertainment for about 4 years of my life. Yes.
Oh my God.
And I was on like texting buddies with Lloyd Kaufman because he'd send me notes. And I remember I I got a chance to talk to him, and I was because Oliver Stone was his college roommate. And he was like, "Well, it's like working with Oliver
crazy.
Stone." With Lloyd Kaufman, you always have to take everything with a grain of salt because you don't know what he's over exaggerating. But he's like, "Oh, I knew," because he told me, he's like, "Oh, I knew." Hold on, I gotta look up a name real quick. He's like, "I knew Oliver Stone since I was a kid." He's like, "I knew Oliver Stone since I was a kid." And he's like, "He was my third grade bully." He's like, "He was my third grade bully."
That is
My third grade bully is pregnant.
But they made movies
Fuck
together.
you.
They made like 2 movies together before Oliver Stone went off and did other shit. And then Lloyd Kaufman also told me that he was like a family do you know who Leni Riefenstahl is?
That I don't know.
She was Hitler.
A girl named Lenny? That's so fucking cute. If I have a daughter, her name's gonna
She
be
was a
Lenny.
German filmmaker who was pretty much in charge of Hitler's propaganda.
Ooh.
Oh, never mind.
So like all the iconic Nazi footage she shot.
Yeah.
Because it's like one of those
What?
because it's one of those things that essentially like it was either that or be fucking killed. So he's like, but
You had to do what you got.
he told me he told me that she was a family friend, and he's Jewish, so like they were all cool and everything.
Yeah.
And he's like he told me one time that her she would actually like speak out like she talked back to Hitler because she pretty much told him is like I'm pretty much in charge of your image. If you want this shit to like it's probably sounded more 1920s, but if you want this to work, fuck off and let me do my
Before
job.
he was too much power. Power.
That's great. I just looked her up because I couldn't remember exactly how to pronounce her name. So
That's like
Leni
really-
Riefenstahl was born in 1902, died in 2003.
Holy shit.
Talking back to Hitler, man, if you can survive
like
that, makes you live.
Fucking awesome. I mean, I used to be a docent at the Milwaukee Art Museum, and I remember
She was.
I was
Just
for real,
saying.
I got the
That's my mom! She's a
But I
fucking
mean-
docent.
They used to have. I remember they had it was a German expressionist. It was a German expressionist show that they did, and I remember when it was really interesting because when you would see it was like right dawn of Hitler's like takeover, and some of these
Was
people.
that the art museum?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, it was like 20 years ago.
Oh, because they did a German expressionism exhibit a couple 4 or 5 years ago.
I saw the one when they did the silent film one. That was, oh my God, that's when I saw when they were showing Cabinet of Dr. Kilgary.
Yes.
I mean, I'm big on silent films too.
I remember
Like
that.
Metropolis.
Yeah.
I saw that at the Oriental the first time. But I remember, I'll never forget, this was one of the most haunting images of the burp. But it was like this beautiful, it was almost like an expressionist painting, and it showed like a little, like the village, and then they're looking at the baby stroller, and when you looked closely, the baby stroller had a little Nazi flag coming out, and it was like that like changed the whole image of that picture. Just seeing that beautiful picture of this street and the mother, and then you see the little Nazi, and they pointed that out, and I'm like, wow, it was like a real powerful.
Yeah.
But yeah, they I don't know. I like German expressions.
I do too.
Louise Brooks. I mean, Pandora's Box.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Louise Brooks was awesome. I mean, she's in my bathroom.
Yeah, tell me about it.
She's with the bobbed black hair. She's that one of the pictures in my bathroom. I have my Hollywood glam bathroom, and I've got all
Which one? You got 2 bathrooms, Toots.
the back one in my bedroom.
The back one.
I've got a picture of Louise Brooks because she's awesome.
All right.
So right before we leave, so this is gonna be the last thing I'm going to ask. Since you've seen so many films, this is going to be our last thing I ask.
Okay.
One film that people should go home and watch right now. Like if they're listening to this, or one film that you'd recommend to Christina, whatever. Takeaway. They just need your one film recommendation for the night is.
Mine would be go home and see Singing in the Rain, because that is such an awesome movie. It's a happy movie. It's a musical. It's a comedy. It spoofs film. It spoofs the filmmaking industry, and from the 20s. And I don't know. It's just a fun musical, and I'll just go back. Sid Charisse, when she dances with Gene Kelly, I think is one of the sexiest moments.
Sexiest,
very
okay.
sexy, very sexy.
It is.
It is. It's a very erotic, sexy moment when she lifts her leg up, and it's a very sensual moment. And
the Technicolor cinematography is.
God. And I love that it spoofs Hollywood.
Oh yeah.
And it's just a fun. To me, that's one of my go-to movies when I'm in a bad mood. I could put that on and it makes me happy. I love that movie.
Well, and so that's her recommendation for the night is going to be Singing in the Rain.
And what serial killer
me?
one is for you?
Serial killer.
Do you have one, Christina? Do you have a movie you want people to go home and watch?
Movie? Come on, girl.
I'm sure. Well, the first thing that came to mind is something that I watched not too recently. It's something that I watched a long time ago, and then I watched a couple weeks ago. House of a Thousand Corpses.
I love that movie too.
Yeah.
It's my happy movie too.
It's a happy movie to me. Dark movies are happy to me, and seeing Baby Rainn Wilson being murdered and becoming a fish boy.
Oh my God, the fish boy thing! Yes.
And Karen Black, who is awesome.
Oh,
I love Karen Black.
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good one for me. I don't have anything much to say. I can honestly say that I don't have much experience with.
So this might be the craziest double feat. So go home and watch Singing in the Rain and House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah.
It is going to be guaranteed the strangest double feature since I suggested people go home and watch Gone with the Wind and Psycho Cop Returns.
You would be stupid not to.
The Shameless Picture Show is recorded in Milwaukee, Wisconsin and Easton, Maryland, and is hosted and produced by Nick Richards and Michael Viers. Today's episode was edited by Michael Viers. Our opening theme music was written especially for us by The Directionals, with narration by Zach McLean. The end credit music you're enjoying at the moment was generously provided by my friends in the band 10 Speed. The Shameless graphic design is masterfully done by Amanda Viers. An extra special thank you to all of our Patreon supporters and to our generous sponsors. We are on Spotify, Stitcher Radio, iTunes, Google Play, and Libsyn. You can find links for all these amazing people in the description below.